Yesterday, Elestrals announced its newest set, Firestorm, and it's got all of us content creators flocking to it like... So today, we're going to be going through all of the cards announced so far for Firestorm. The first announcement that we received is the fact that there will be more Divine Runes. We're not just going to be receiving titled variants of the same 8 Divines, we will be receiving new Divines with a bunch of different effects and play styles. Starting off with Hestia. Hestia is Fire's new Divine. It states when you cast this Hestia, you can enchant up to 3 Fire Spirits to it. You can disenchant 2 Fire Spirits from this Hestia in order to special cast a 1-Spirit Fire Elestral from your hand with Fire if an opponent controls the same amount of Elestrals as you or more. This effect can be utilized in multiple different ways, such as possibly turboing out a lot of bears to enable your Ursa Den to get out a big bear, or you can utilize this as like a way to get out your 2-drops very quickly and turbo out into them, or you can just use this to swarm the board with a bunch of Elestrals and utilize Kinleo's effect on the same turn that you play it possibly. So Hestia is a very strong Divine, but it has an awkward place due to the fact that your opponents essentially have to be either tied or ahead of you in order for you to be able to utilize its effect. So I'm not really sure how this will affect the metagame if I'm being honest with you. The other Divine that we've been introduced to so far is Hermes. Hermes is Wind's newest Divine. Hermes says when you cast this Hermes, you can enchant up to 3 Wind Spirits to it. You can disenchant 2 Wind Spirits from this Hermes in order to search your deck for a 1-Spirit Elestral or Wind Elestral and send it to your underworld. Now, this is following along with Wind's toolbox theme that it already has. I'm not really too sure exactly how impactful Hermes will be. We're going to have to wait to see a lot more of the set and what a lot of these Wind Elestrals coming out are looking to do. Because currently, right now, we don't want to send a bunch of Wind Elestrals to our grave, so Hermes is just in an awkward spot without having a lot more Wind Elestrals that look to be toolboxed into the graveyard. Along with these Divines, we also got Champion cards. What these are titled variants of previously printed cards that are going to have effects that coincide with said Divines that they are the champion of. To start off, we have Carry Off, an 8/2 Wind and Lunar Elestral that says you can shuffle an Elestral in your underworld into your deck when this Carry Off is sent to the underworld with a Hermes effect. You can target an Elestral and expend 1 of anything equal to the number of its enchanting spirits to destroy it. Carry Off is essentially Earthquake on a body that you can find from anywhere. However, utilizing Hermes' effect plus sending this to the grave and expending equal to that cost can be pretty costly, and it starts to add up to like 4, 5, maybe even 6 spirits that you are going to be utilizing on this play. And at that point, you're better off just utilizing different stuff. I really don't see Champion of Hermes doing too much here, but that just might be my opinion, and some people might be capable of cooking with it. Hermes isn't quite done yet, as he's got another champion in the form of Exaltair, Champion of Hermes. Exaltair is a 3/1 Wind Elestral that says this Exaltair cannot be destroyed in battle the turn you special cast it from your underworld. While Hermes is enchanted, this Exaltair gets +3 attack. I'm not really sure how many effects are going to be special casting Wind Elestrals from the underworld. However, Exaltair just being able to be a 6 attack 1-drop the turn you bring him out as long as Hermes is enchanted is extremely strong, let alone if you don't get to cast it out with its special ability, it's still just a 6 attack 1-drop beater. I think this card does have potential, especially if there's a lot of special summoning for Wind in the Grave. And Hestia is here with a champion of her own. We've got Scout, Champion of Hestia, a 2/4 Fire Elestral that says when you special cast this Scout, you can search your deck for a Champion of Hestia and add it to your hand. We've only been announced one other Champion of Hestia card that you can utilize to search this with, but I'm not really a fan of the fact that you have to special cast it out in order to get its effect. It seems like you have to have Hestia, be behind, play Scout, and then you can utilize its effect, and that doesn't really seem like that great to me. However, the next card is fantastic and I believe has the potential to make bears relevant. And that is Majursa, Champion of Hestia. Majursa is an 8/13 3-drop Fire Elestral that says when you cast this Majursa, you can target and destroy cards up to the number of Bear Elestrals on your field. Your Bear Elestrals get +1 attack for each fire enchanting each Hestia on the field. I think the primary part of its ability is extremely strong. With you being able to turbo out multiple bears in one turn, utilize Ursa Den, pop this Majursa Champion of Hestia down, and destroy an entire opposing board, then swing over for massive damage is extremely valuable. I think this is better than the Blistrix deck in my opinion, because this is going to be a way more consistent way to get multiple guys out, and you can also easily pop their back row and eat anything else on the same turn, not just a single card. Plus the fact that you're not necessarily having to get rid of your deck in order to play this. I think bears are going to be the next turbo strategy that is very viable simply due to this card alone. The last champion card we have announced so far is Ursko, Champion of Kione. This is a 2/4 Frost Celestial that says you can target a face-down rune. It cannot be played as long as this Urscout is enchanted. This effect can be activated one additional time on your turn if you also disenchant one from Kione. Honestly, I'm not a fan of this card. It's worse. It's just a worse Broomalinx. You can't target face-up cards, so you can't shut down Divine Runes. It has a worse stat line than Broomalinx. Even though you can activate it twice in a single turn with a Disenchantment of Kione, it still really is ineffective due to the fact that it's easy to get over, and it's really not going to be staying for too long. So in my opinion, this card isn't going to be doing anything, and it's kind of just going to sit there in a commons pile. And the next card for bear support is Hibernation. Hibernation is a 1-cost Frost Invoke rune that says this Hibernation can only be played if you control a Bear Elestral. Target up to 2 Fire or Frost spirits in your underworld, return them to your spirit deck, or enchant them to an Ursa Den. If you do, draw a card. One thing to note about this card is it is also an Ursa card as noted in the bottom right corner, so this can be searched out by anything that can search out Ursa cards. And the second thing is this thing is extremely strong. It has a lot of potential. One, it says draw a card, so you're instantly replacing this the second that you play it. That is one very important factor of this. Two, the fact that you can utilize this as a mini Ambrosia and just heal 2 spirits to your underworld is extremely strong, and this is searchable. Keep that in mind. And then the third fact that you can return 2 spirits to an Ursa Den, utilizing it to pump out something like a Champion of Ursa or Champion of Hestia, Majursa, is also extremely strong. I think in combination with all the other bear support, this card plus Majursa will make bears an extremely viable meta deck next set. And the last card announced is Torch of Hestia, a 1-cost fire artifact that says the Empowered Celestial gets +2 attack. When the Empowered Celestial declares an attack, you can foretell 3. If Hestia is enchanted this way, you can add a fire card foretold this way to your hand. I actually think this is a pretty powerful artifact in the fact that it gives you +2 attack for 1 spirit, and also the fact that it can help you regulate your draws and know exactly what you're going to be drawing into for the next few turns, so that way you can know what you want to play. Torch of Hestia is a card that I wouldn't necessarily deem as completely guaranteed meta, but I wouldn't sleep on this card either, and I would definitely do some experimentation with it when Firestorm rolls around. And that's all the cards that have been announced so far. If you've made it this far, type out Bears top tier down in the comments below. Also, let me know what your perspective is on some of these cards that have been announced. I'll probably be doing a weekly wrap up of all the cards that have been announced rather than doing a daily video on them. So just about, probably about every Friday, I assume I'm gonna be putting out a wrap up of all the cards that have been announced so far. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. If you enjoy content like this, be sure to like and subscribe as I do post almost daily. I hope you all have a good day and peace.